Welcome in YouTube. It is Juicy. We're back at it with Mobile Gamer, doing a video on Cosmic Crucible, going over defenses, just talking about the start of the season, how's it been going for us, and also just going over ranks and just going over giving a preview of the week. So we're just going to start with how you've been doing in Crucible so far.
Well, thanks to your secret sauce special defense, which was room 2, which I know we're going to talk about. I ended up going 2-1 last week because of that room, and now I'm sitting at 121. My goodness.
Yep. And so I am sitting at 74.
Woo.
Uh, getting a little in the scary zone. Getting close to winning a lot more, or have like I think for the season I'm like 6 out of not 3 or something like that. So one
Yeah.
more than I've lost, but not by a lot.
Big
This
punch ups. Yeah, I
yeah
recognize a lot of those names, like the super carry is in my alliance. Yeah, that's a big account.
yeah I'm pretty sure Super K has a Mephisto, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm looking forward to facing that pack
Well,
attack. Just to give y'all a preview, that's gonna be 129 million, and even like G-Man is 102. So and then I come
yeah.
coming in at
So
77.
So I know a lot of people say, matchmaking this, matchmaking that. The thing is if you're playing very well above your level, you're going to be the lowest TCP in your 8 of your seed, right? So you have to kind of perceive it as a compliment. It means that you were doing something right the week before if everybody's a lot bigger. It's a good thing when that happens, not a bad thing. It means you were doing, because if you keep losing, you're going to be at the top. And that means that you're not playing well, right? I mean, when was the last time you were at the very top as far as collection power in your seed of 8?
Probably like season one or preseason.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
It just doesn't happen at some point.
yeah, it just doesn't happen, and it's I can say I'm 74th in the world, and I'm facing, like, to say that I'm in the top 100. I should be facing other accounts that are in the top 100. I shouldn't be facing people who are at the same level as me. I mean, there are players in the top 100 that have a smaller TCP than me. Like I could think of a few of them, like Athame or Saney. He's a really good guy. Anyway, I faced several people in this bracket that are in the top 100 that have a lower TCP than me. So, just so you know, it is possible even with a smaller account. Go away ads. Just saying, it is a badge of honor. You should treat it as a badge of honor if you're punching up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's, I mean, if you're at the top, it doesn't really mean anything. I was saying, but it's just like it. But if you're at the bottom, that means that you've been doing something well in the weeks before for the matchmaking to place you in that way. And then when you have a 60 million punch up or a 30 million punch up, you just kind of have to say, well, I've been playing very well lately.
Yeah, and it's fun. It can get scary. As I said, I'm gonna probably face a Mephisto this week. If not, it's soon. I'm actually surprised that I haven't faced one yet. I've been in a pairing the last 2 weeks with one. I didn't get one the last time. Uh, kind of dodged a bullet there, but all right. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the defenses. So I started with Affinity Watch in one, the cockroaches of MSF. Uh, where are you having your Affinity Watch, and how they've been doing for you so far?
Infinity Watch has been a non event for me. They are in 5. However, I did lose one round last week solely because I misplayed against Infinity Watch in room 5. I would have went 3-0 last week if I would have played Infinity Watch correctly, but I did not.
Yeah, and just a heads up, streamer brain is real. I just remember being in that stream and people were like, "No, don't do that. Don't hit fight. Don't hit fight." And you're just in the middle of recording a video. If you stop and you slow down, you probably would have picked a better team and you probably would have won that one. And it just it is what it is.
It happens, man. It happens, right?
Streamer brain is real. You can see some of my videos where I'm just like, "What am I doing? Why have I not just take a breather, go get a drink of water before you keep fighting?" Just heads up on that. I'm running Rogue Extreme in two. Um, the way you counter this team is usually through Pegasus, which I find a lot of people, my opponents, are putting Pegasus on defense. Have you seen this yet, and what are you running?
If I saw that, boy, I don't know what I would do against that if I saw that. That's kind of scary, right? But I have, I'm going to have Spider Society, Hive Mind, Super Scroll, and Pegasus on offense. So hopefully one of those three or a combination with Super Scroll, we'll get through that.
Yes, and on that, this is the only team I haven't seen test footage on Spider Society fighting. So I don't know how that fight would actually play out. Um, so that's just a heads up. I don't know how that would play out. But that's a good thing to try. Good thing to test to see if that wins.
Yeah, I think I would be inclined to bite the bullet and just to see if Spider Society wins against that. Like if I come across your defense, I might run my Spider Society into that just to see how it works.
Yeah, and it's and again, I've been testing. And then one thing I showed was last week was I was using Bifrost Death Pool, and I've been finding that Bifrost Death Pool is super helpful on
Yeah.
offense because again, my opponents have been throwing weird hybrids. They've been using Super Scroll, Black Knight, Hive Mind, and Spider Society together, and I've been finding that Bifrost Death Proof doesn't care about all that shenanigans. It just kills it. That's super helpful because then I don't have to use a Cabal. I don't have to use a Super Scroll. I don't have to use an APOC. I can just use that team and New Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a hard time finding a place for New Warriors against my own defense, and so I know that that's the same thing that I'm going to find against my opponents. Like, have you been finding a lot of uses for your New Warriors? I know you haven't been using them, but even if you look back at your matches, do you think you'd have a
No,
lot of use?
I've been New Warrior. I mean, I've got Death Pool on defense, so I've not been using New Warriors. I mean, I think the cool trick with New Warriors of late was to use Lizard with New Warriors against some sort of Secret Defender team, but you know that just hasn't been needed. So I've been real happy with having Death Pool on defense in twos. So far, jury's out. We'll find out what Spider Society brings to the game, and Room Two could end up being all about Spider Society. We don't know, right?
Yeah, and it's perfect. And then going into room three, just going
Yeah.
over Super Scroll. Super Scroll's goal is to pull Hive Mind, or sorry, pull out the Cabal.
Cabal.
If you notice, that means that I do have Secret Defenders on offense. So I'm going to be testing out Secret Defenders on offense this week. Let's see how if I can make some combos with using them. Uh, what are your thoughts on room three, and what have you been seeing a lot?
I've not been seeing this. It's just the thing about room three is that typically I'm using Masters of Evil with Echo, right? And for you to force me to use Cabal or consider Cabal there because of Super Scroll is kind of scary.
Yeah. And that's the goal, and it's very high offense in this season. I think that the part of the problem is you can't, especially at my level, you can't have just one strong room. Like people, I remember people were saying Superior Six with Black Knight super powerful. It gets one shot every single round against me at my level. It doesn't
Yeah,
survive.
because if someone did that, which is kind of scary, right? Then I would be like considering like Cabal, Masters of Evil, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like or something. You know, I would just be going because if I can use my Masters of Evil without Cabal, and then if I could use my Cabal without Apocalypse, that's a big W, right? But if you don't have enough teams on defense where I can kind of just do whatever I want in every room, and then you've gone heavy in one room, then I'm going to be using King with Cabal and exploding your room, no matter what you put there, right? I mean,
yeah.
there's not a lot of teams that are gonna not be able to, survive King plus Cabal, right? I mean, that's going to be the full force, right?
Yeah, it's Cabal. I mean, Cabal, APOC Doom, Cabal, APOC Kang. Both of those can care less about your Black Knight Superior Six team. I've seen it win on big punch ups. Uh, I've killed a two diamond Black Knight with that same team, Cabal, um, APOC, and Doom. And so that's just to show you that because he didn't have enough to spread my APOC or into a different room, I was able to use it team. So you have to have something that is pulling that APOC somewhere else, or pulling the Cabal somewhere else. One of the two of them, or your
Right.
team's just dead.
Right. So room 3 is going to pull Cabal, and your room 6 is trying to pull APOC, right? Or Void Knight, or it depends, right? But a couple things, right? So it's forcing you to make a decision where you want to use your teams, right? Your defense looks like it's going to be a nightmare, actually,
Yeah.
with the exception of room 4, which is shouldn't lose, hopefully.
Fun fact: if you want to guess, the only room that I got wins on last week was room 4. That's
That
just
doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, if they're spread thin in all the other rooms, then they don't have anything left for room 4. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
yeah, it's a spread thing. Thanos hits super hard, especially I have a 2 diamond Thanos. I've seen Darkhold get deleted. I've seen New Warriors get deleted, and I saw last week Pegasus actually got deleted. That was a fun one. And so just this team with that offense up, a lot of people what they're doing now is don't drop Corvus, drop Cole. Um,
Wow.
because the less health is actually helpful for Thanos. Thanos then gets to his ult faster. Corvus again gives that offense up to Thanos and the extra damage, and a big Thanos will kill you. Will kill a lot of teams, especially a team full of villains. Um,
Okay.
so just a heads up if you're thinking about switching it around. I'm also seeing a lot of people trying to put Vulture in Room 4. I find that Vulture is actually on offense is way better in Room 4 because he counters a lot of things. He makes a lot of nonsense non-events because he can go first and rewind it. So, just a little tip for y'all. Then you got room 5. What would you do against that?
Oh my God, that's gonna be. Um, I came across this last week actually, and I think I ended up using Cabal Apocalypse against it. I think that's what I ended up doing, if I remember correctly. And I know that there is some mechanics in Green Goblin's uh, kit when he has charge, which prevents like ability block and the vulnerables, right? So that's the whole thing about Iron Patriot is the vulnerables go out early. But it was just I needed the sheer damage and health boost from the Cabal given to the other villains. I that's what I vaguely remember that, but I think that's what I ended up doing.
Yeah, that I've seen that beat it, and then I've also seen Superior 6 with APOC instead of the Slayer.
Oof.
That
Yeah.
worked just fine too. I find that the mirror match gets super shaky. A lot of teams that you typically would use to beat this because of that revive, because you have the Ock with the triggers. You know, if you knock somebody low and then all of a sudden your Craven's going out of order, can just cause problems on defense. And so Dorm just accelerates this team to another level without having to put Black Knight. So you can still have your Black Knight in a different room to draw out more firepower, right? Because when you put Black
Yeah.
Knight together, again, I'm gonna put my offense together to beat it. Is what I'm finding at my level.
Yeah, I mean, basically, your room 3, you've got Super Scroll, which the natural counter to that is going to be Cabal. Then you've got room 6, the natural counter to that is going to be Apocalypse. Well, then what do you do in room 5? You know what I mean? You got a problem, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to be spread thin right there when you have to make those decisions.
Yep, and that's kind of the goal at the higher end. Again, if you were thinking about moving something to offense, I think the first thing I would pull would actually be my Super Scroll team. I would probably just put SD back in there, SD Noir, just to keep Super Scroll back in my hand for offense. Just a heads up if you're thinking about this, it looks like it's a little too much on offense. That would be my recommendation as you're looking at this, is pulling that Scroll team off, and because I think Scroll has the least amount of has the most amount of counters to it now, crazily enough, and so it it's probably the most valuable team for offense too because it's still a I win
Yeah.
button for
Yep.
most other offenses. So
1000%. Super Scroll is an I win. I don't know what to do in this room. Okay, we're going to bring Super Scroll and some friends. We'll figure out it. We'll make a combo with Vol and whatever, right?
yeah, perfect. All right, I think that will be the end of our video. Anything before we go, Mobile?
I can't wait. I love Cosmic Crucible, my favorite game mode. I can't wait to get into it. And I'm coming for you, Ambassador Al. I'm coming for you.
Oh, that's a challenge. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a great rest of y'all's week. Hope good luck, and I think it's week 5, and we're halfway through the season. Make sure to push hard in these last few weeks, and bye for now.
Bye for now.